I could have just seen Barbie again. Or anything else that came out in July. Yeah. By the way, it's take 2, by the way. For those who saw the video, that is deleted now. It was 2 minutes, and it was a false start. So we now have the video. All right. Do the thing. Fuck you! Here we go. It's the Angry Grant Show. Oh, and it looks like Becca has come to share in my suffering.
I will be here to listen to the movie, how bad it is.
You'll be here as you'll be my emotional support, Becca. For this.
Unfortunately, it's Canadian, and it's the one Canadian movie you guys got, which I don't know why this is the choice, but
fucking A, dude. Like, really, holy shit. All right, before we begin, let's begin. It's the Angry Grant Show live, everyone. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those ones where Grant gets a little angry. My apologies for any profanity. This movie was so bad I made friends. I just wasted 98 minutes of the 70 years I have left. Every character in this movie is kind of a dick. This is putrid. This is boring. I hated this. This is really bad. You also know you're old when everything in your childhood is bastardized. Should I run? Should I run? Should I run? It had no redeeming things about it. Directed by David Helling. Wow, ironic. He's probably going to hell for this. Movies like this are everything that's wrong with the conservative evangelical sides of cinema. This is a con artist. This is a con artist. Guys, I'm gonna say this is the worst film I've ever seen. Fuck you, movie. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. It ruined Christmas, guys. I'm a guy. I like tits as much as I say. That's not. You can't base a whole movie off of tits. Do what I said on Twitter. Fuck this movie. Fuck it up its willy-nilly, silly old ass. That is it. Fuck the plot. I feel like they're in brown face. Yeah, and then, horrible movie. This is awful. I don't like movies anymore. How did they get all these talented comedians in this movie? Hollywood sucks. Because they make good movies, unlike your piece of shit. But okay, he tortures them! Is it strange that I want to go over there and punch her in the face? Fuck this movie. Ah! A little shit weasel kid. Alright. Really? Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's our hero! It pissed me off. This is the worst Christmas movie ever made. What am I signed up for? Why? Why are they letting these people make movies? I'm sorry, this just makes me so angry. Worst movie ever. There. That is it. We're done.
There's no way it's that bad.
You weren't here, Becca.
Yeah, I wasn't. But, you know, the fact that I didn't know about it till today and that whole thing is unfortunately showing.
You know what sorry, by the way, about the Frozen intro.
Was it Frozen?
A little bit. Maybe it's not going to be on the replay, but it was on my end.
I was not paying attention. I'm trying to find a way to watch the Beanie Baby movie tonight.
It's actually not bad. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
But anyway, here is Sparks. I love you. I love the documentary on you. I love Annette. Please don't sue me, but I have to do this. This might as well be the mission statement of the filmmakers of this movie. All I do now is stick around. All I do now is stick around. Every day. 7 seconds. So, yeah, all they do now is dick around. Here's the thing. Becca, we're not going to go along with this. We're not going to do an I Like Movies on this. It's not worth the extra time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
We're gonna.
It seems like it's more worth it just to just like spend more time talking about an actual good movie.
Or even just like I have shit to do. Like this is gonna be like I think we're gonna have to cap out like a half hour tops. Like this movie. Like there's a new pod. Leonardo Knife just put out a new pod for the week where they're gonna review Barbie and Oppenheimer. Like I would rather do that than this.
Mhm.
So we're just gonna blow through this shit. So I saw a movie after the 5 minutes of build up. It's called The Baker. The film is I'm not gonna do the whole spiel. It's the Angry Grant Show. Welcome everybody. You know how it goes. The Baker is directed by Jonathan Sobel, who, from what I can gather, has only done direct-to-video movies up until this point. Wow, big surprise. The Baker has a cast that is really, really unworthy of it. Okay, so The Baker is seemingly about Ron Perlman as a baker who was a veteran and some kind of badass. His son, played by Joel David Moore of Avatar fame and Hottie and the Naughty infamy, is his son, and he leaves his daughter to be cared for by the baker. I can't remember what the guy's name is. Like, who gives a shit? He goes there. She goes to stay with him, and then his son was up to no good, smuggling this new sort of synthetic party drug. And now everyone is coming after him and little girl for some reason, and he gains a reputation as this guy named the Baker, who becomes like this legend in the underworld, even though only one junkie knows about him, and somehow the next day, every freaking gangster... No, okay, fuck the plot. Okay, here's the thing. That is what allegedly this movie's about. To quote another great Canadian, a better Canadian thing, allegedly, just like the ostrich fucker. Allegedly... This movie is John Wick, but Canadian with a baker. It is not that at all. This movie is so fucking inept. Like, to the next level. And it wastes... Like, Joel David Moore can go suck my cock. The best movie he did was Avatar. And that's not saying something. But everybody else deserves so much better. Ron Perlman is in this. Ron Perlman is awesome. Like, you got Ron Perlman, you got Elias Koteas, who was in fucking Crash. Why is he in this movie? And
Ron Perlman is great. Specifically, that video of him saying "fuck the studios,"
threatening Bob Iger, telling people to burn Bob Iger's house down. Well, yeah, and like we'll get to him again because there's another movie from the same producers that's on the way with him. So we'll talk about that a little bit too. But then you got, like I said, Elias Koteas, who is. He was freaking Casey Jones, man, in TMNT 2. Like, what the fuck, movie?
He was great in Lost Highway, right? He's in Lost Highway, right?
Lost Highway, freaking Crash. Like,
yeah.
You know, fucking Shutter Island. Like, this dude's worked with Scorsese and Cronenberg and Lynch. Like, what the fuck is he doing here? He's a Canadian treasure, man. It would be like if Sarah Gadon was in this. This is some bullshit. And then you got him... Speaking of better Canadian movies that aren't in the U.S. yet, the North of Normal with Sarah Gadon. It opened in Canada this weekend. It didn't come here, and there's no sign of coming here. Same with I Like Movies. What the fuck, Canada? I'm sorry, respectfully to your home country, Becca, but what the fuck, Canada?
I get it, though. The distribution situation's kind of shitty here because for some reason good movies don't get anything. And then movies that are shitty with actors... Yeah.
Blackberry we got that, so that's something. We got Infinity Pool. So that's something. But yeah, I just sorry, oh my god.
It sounds like a really bad version of what was that movie I was thinking of? The one with it's the way you're describing it, Master Gardener. It sounds like a really shitty Master Gardener.
You know what it is? I haven't seen Master Gardener, but you know what it is? It's sort of like if you took John Wick, The Last of Us, and Logan and fucking The Road, and you took out all the things that made that cool, and
made it about Ron Perlman.
It's one
and
of those
drug dealers.
There's a scene early on in the movie, I kid you not, where someone gets stabbed in the throat, and the blood I could do that. A 12-year-old on a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I saw this.
I hate how people always make these drug dealer movies that aren't interesting. Like, why can't they all be VFWs? Like, VFW was a fucking dope-ass movie about old people and drug dealers.
Yeah, like, that's what this is striving for. It is clearly going for, like, an old-school B-movie feel, but the problem is that even B-movies are better now. Like, they cloned Tyrone. It was great. Like, it had more substance than just like you gotta be a little more subversive than this. It's the kind of movie that it's also really pretentious. It's one of those movies that's like it's shoddily made, and yet it has this whole thing about how
it like thinks it's better than everyone because it's like we're Canadian elitism, but then it's also like a shitty movie because they don't put money into it.
But Canadian elitism that isn't earned. Like Canadian elitism is good. Even
when it's Sarah Pauli, yes.
Yeah, like fucking Women Talking, which like or Away from Her. I love Away from Her. Like
or any of the Cronenberg films.
Yeah, like Canadian movies are better than American movies when they're done well. Like they really are. This movie, they take chances that American movies don't take. This movie, well, first and foremost, it's produced in Canada. It was actually shot in the Caymans. And that's important.
That's actually kind of sketch because I looked at it and it said Ontario Creates. I'm like, okay, so an Ontario action film, and then hearing they shot in the Caymans, I'm like, oh, so they literally it's just a scam then. It's not actually a Canadian film.
This movie was in desperate need of Wayne, Squirrely Dan, Derry, and Katie from frickin' Letterkenny complaining about pretentious motion pictures.
And like, the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, and fucking like Ricky Bubbles and Julian, like, and Mr. Lady and frickin' like Randy Babandy, like, fucking hell. Like, this movie, it's one of those movies where it's almost so bad it's good. It is this close. But it's also really boring and pretentious. Like, it's one of those movies where it has about 45 minutes of plot that's significant. So, but it's an hour 46, and the way that it gets to an hour 46 is a lot of transitional driving shots, a lot of scenes that are literally repeated. Like, there's a scene in the movie where Harvey Keitel, and that's the other guy who's wasted in this. I mean, you were in fucking Bad Lieutenant. But fuck, I'm gonna say it because everyone's thinking it. You were in fucking National Treasure, okay? National Treasure's a good-ass movie. It's a better version of this kind of movie. Like this B-movie kind of thing. He has this speech where he makes this analogy to Elias Koteas, and then later he's sitting with Elias Koteas, and he ends the conversation with the exact same lines. Like exactly.
Don't tell me this is. Don't tell me this is the movie that I heard about. Oh my god, let's see. This might be the movie that my dad was telling me about, a dude that he knew that actually worked on it. That's unfortunate because it looks like it's just a tax credit scam. That's what it looks like.
Well, absolutely it is, because this is on the cheap. I mean, I don't know how they got these actors, because the effects, I'm telling you, I could do these effects. My videos have better production value than this movie.
But some of these people are washed up at this point, so it kind of makes sense that they'll just do anything.
But the thing is that they wouldn't come off as washed up if they were in a movie that like Tarantino or Scorsese or someone did.
Yeah, but they haven't done a lot for a while.
They're capable of being good, though. That's not really an excuse. Pick better.
Yeah, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah, like when you've worked with Scorsese and freaking Guillermo del Toro and fucking Cronenberg, you don't have an excuse anymore. You know what good material is. Look for it. That's bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. Not you saying it. I'm saying that is an excuse.
Yeah, I don't know, though, because James Duval was in Amityville Karen, so I don't really know if that's holds up.
Fucking Robert Duvall was in 12 Mighty Orphans 1, 2, 3. It's like, I understand that you reach a certain point where you just need the money, but Jesus Christ.
Where you've passed your prime and people just want you for name's sake because they know that there's because there is a handful of people who will go see this movie because of that. I don't think this movie's in my theaters.
Yeah, it's like, but Ron Perlman, well, our theater was kind of packed, actually, for like an afternoon show. But the thing is like, Ron Perlman isn't washed up though. He was just in like fucking Nightmare Alley, which was one of the best movies of the year. But again, that was Del Toro doing it. And
it's literally not in my theaters. It's only in the Capitol Theater, which is in Niagara Falls. But in the New York side, so it's literally not in any of my theaters for being a Canadian film.
Is IMDb an accurate representation of Canadian release dates? Because if so, I'm looking this shit up.
It is. I think it's out technically because I feel like they would show it here first because North of Normal is out at the theater that's a block away from me.
Oh, now I'm mad. It says July 28th, Canada, and July 28th, US. Hey, Telefilm, where the fuck is North of Normal? Fuck!
Yeah, no, it's weird because it's I could go see it if I wanted to at this moment. I just don't know if I would sit in a theater for that. But it's unfortunate that the Baker's the one they're pushing, but they didn't even release it to any of our theaters.
But like fucking North and Normal since TIFF last year, I've heard that it's actually really good. Like,
it was at TIFF, wasn't it? That's one I missed too at TIFF. Yeah.
I've had my eye on it because I am a massive, massive Sarah Gadon fan. I love her in just about everything. She's been in shitty movies, but she's never been shitty in them. Like when she's good, she's one of those character actors that like makes good movies better and bad movies tolerable.
Yeah.
Like Dracula Untold would not be much without her.
Ooh, I forgot she was in that movie. That
right,
was fucking bad.
Cadet Kelly would not be much without her, but with her, even in the 5 minutes she's in that shit, like like she is. And then like when she's in good shit, like freaking 11/22/63 or Letterkenny, she's great, and like she elevates the good material. Like, so or fucking Antiviral. Brandon Cronenberg, man. Maps to the Stars. Like
I will admit that's not I don't really like Antiviral that much, but it's a lot better for a directorial debut than a lot of other Canadian filmmakers. But he's got his dad though, so that makes sense.
I get a lot of shit for this opinion. I know, I don't care. I fucking love Cosmopolis, and she's fucking amazing in that movie.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. That's the one where it ends with Robert Pattinson and the Twin Towers, right?
Yeah! My sister
saw it. My sister saw it. Is that not it?
Wrong Robert Pattinson movie. You're thinking of Remember Me. Now, that movie
all I remember is my sister watched a movie one night and she told me, she's like, yeah, this movie was just about Robert Pattinson. And then the twist ending was it was on 9/11. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
She's not in that one, but he's in that one. Remember Me?
What's Cosmopolis about again?
It's the Cronenberg movie where almost the whole of the movie is him in a limousine.
Oh, so it's essentially like Locke, but less cool.
Well, no, it is. It's just real divisive. It's one of those movies that a few people love and almost everyone else hates, but it's like really, and she's in it, and like she's weird because it's Cronenberg, and she can do weird and crazy really well. And I saw the trailer for this movie. Like look at us, we're talking about better movies than this. I saw the trailer.
That just proves how bad it is.
For North and Normal, and it's like her and the freaking girl from High School, the TV show, is her daughter, and I watch it and I'm like, oh, it's
wait, which one?
The one who plays freaking Maya on Have you ever watched High School? The TV
I did. I read the book when it came out, or I listened to the audiobook, and then when the show came out, I watched it. I was gonna see it at TIFF, but it was at a really weird time where I couldn't get to it.
I fell in love with that show from like the first 10 minutes. I fucking loved that
good
show.
Shit.
It's really fucking good. And then she also was on Daisy Jones and the Six. So it's like, okay. So the two good actors, and then you got freaking along with that, you got freaking Jarvis from Agent Carter.
Yeah, and the script sounds great. The script from the trailer seems really good and funny. Like I like movies energy.
Well, it's funny, but it's also like deeply sad because it's about a girl who grows up basically in a new age hippie commune with her mom.
Yeah.
And the mom is kind of crazy and distant, and she grows up kind of resenting the mom, and it's about their relationship. And
I've heard it's decent.
Yeah, it's got 100% Rotten Tomatoes score right now. I mean, there's like 8 reviews, but still, that's, pretty high marks for a first out. Again, like, that's the Canadian movie I want to see, and I've already seen I like movies. I don't care. I want to see it in a theater with an audience. Like, We really need to get some of those.
It's good with an audience, specifically when the movie starts and everyone doesn't know what they're getting into, and it's like it's Rejects Night. Everyone thought that was so funny.
That opening, man, I think I texted you when Rejects Night was happening. Christmas Carol Party. I say I fucking love this. I like texted you and said I love this.
It's one of those things where it's unfortunate that the movies that Canada is pushing is the stuff that isn't actually good, but because it has big stars in it, they're like, well, we got to push it. It's like, but they're not the good ones, except for Blackberry and Infinity Pool. The other stuff they've been pushing is not great so far.
And what bums me out is that this movie, we're not even talking about this movie. So the movie, along with the bad effects, it's one of those movies where also a lot of the cast probably does not speak a lick of English. And I'm saying this not in an offensive way. I'm saying this legitimately because there are actors where you know that's not their speaking voice. And if you didn't notice by how that it was dubbing by the voice, you'd know it by how it syncs up with their mouth.
Oh, is it dubbed? That's awful too.
No, a lot of it is it's ADR, but it's awful ADR. But it's ADR that might as well be dubbing because they'll have characters. They have like this dude who's like a Russian hitman who's built like his voice is really deep, like fuck that bitch. This is Russia, like that kind of thing, right?
I don't know why these people keep getting away with this. Why do these filmmaker dudes keep getting away with making shitty action movies that are the same thing over and over again, but other people don't get a chance? It's unfortunate.
The theater I saw this in is about 25 minutes from house, and it's the one that gets the little hidden shit that's only in maybe a couple hundred theaters. Guess what?
That one about the wine country went to that one, I'm assuming.
The one, you mean the country club?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's that theater.
It's the filmmaking's not spectacular, but it's funny and it's a comedy, and those comedies actually.
No, but what I'm saying is it's that theater though, the one that does the weird shit. Yeah.
Really weird obscure shit. They got Cobweb, which I freaking loved. Which is like really under the radar, and like again, and that was a Seth Rogen produced movie. So I mean, but it just opened in only a few theaters. But we still don't. Neither theater in my area has theater camp yet. The closest one is in St. Louis. It's like get those movies instead of this. You know what made my heart sink? I was walking by the theaters, walking out of it, just dejected. And the next thing showing in my theater, because it was the only two show times they're showing this in the days, 10 a.m. and like 1. So walking out of it is that they're replacing it over for an anniversary re-release of fucking Heathers. I'm like, I should just stay and watch fucking Heathers and watch the taste of this shit out of my mouth.
It's a much better movie.
It is
It's unfortunate. I think what I've realized this year and other years is even Canada can be wrapped into this, but I was saying this to some people. North American filmmaking is kind of a little bit, unless it's like a Barbie, it's kind of boring now, and it's kind of not trying shit. I'm more into like, give me, European stuff, give me Asian stuff, even Australia.
Good Canadian stuff. Because the thing is that the Canadian movies, I like movies. You look at it on the surface, for instance, and again, we're not even talking about this one, but you look at that movie, and on the surface, it's like, okay, this is coming of age film that passes an American film. But there's a ballsiness and a darker undercurrent that America just
the problem, though, is too much of Canada's filmmaking is just trying to emulate and masquerade as American. And that's when we get shit like this that's not good, because they're trying to be Americans, and like straight up it's literally my photo. Fucking Australian movie is like the best thing that came out this week. And it was fucking
my
brilliant.
Film of the week, I guess I'll just spoil it because I'm about to post. My film of the week is absolutely Talk to Me. I want to see that shit again.
After this, we gotta have that whole. We didn't even have a conversation about that fucking movie. We gotta have that where we're just like,
you know what we should do? I have a brilliant idea. We need to get our guests together, and we need to do Talk to Barbie spoiler night and just talk about both of them.
Because they're literally my two favorite movies of the year right now.
That movie is fucked up in a way that American movies can't even dare to go. And that's what I love about Australian horror, when done well.
Yeah, like Wolf Creek.
Like Wolf Creek. One that nobody talks about that I had to freaking buy during the pandemic, but fucking Relic. Relic
That's
is
true.
great.
Relic, thank God it got the IFC treatment, because if they
Yes.
didn't, Relic wouldn't have went anywhere if IFC didn't pick it up.
And like, I just one of the most underrated actresses is in that movie. Bella Heathcote, who's great.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Natalie Erica James. That movie was so good. She and John Krasinski are doing a fucking prequel to Rosemary's Baby. Like that show.
That is.
For.
Oh, you're talking about the movie, the Rosemary's Baby prequel movie.
Yeah, it's like Apartment 17A or something.
Yeah, that might. I have a feeling that might be a TIFF this year. Because I think it's done.
But like again, my thing is that Canada can make some of the most original offbeat movies
when they're not trying to be America.
Right, like Infinity Pool. Like Americans would never make that movie.
Unless you got Ari Aster, and A24, no Americans would fucking even try to do that.
But it's such a shame because the movie it's really badly done. So like the Russian guy, like I said, he should be like, fuck that bitch, this is awesome. Instead, he sounds like, hey guys, hey sweetie, I'm over here, I'm looking for your grandpa, I'm gonna kill your grandpa. Sounds like fucking like squeaky voiced teen from fucking Simpsons.
Like Ronald McDonald?
Not even like Ronald McDonald, he sounds like Michael Cera. He sounds like fucking Alan. Like when he talks.
That's really bad.
Oh, it's hilarious. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Michael. I know he has done some ADR work in the past. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was Michael Cera. It's terrible. By the way, I noticed a joke. I guess I can say because everybody's seen this movie by now. I noticed a joke that I didn't watching Barbie a second time that made me flip my shit laughing, and it was at the end, right before the tear gushing moment at the end that always gets me, where Rhea Perlman talks about what was it, taxes and like getting higher on her ass, and she goes, but that's another movie.
I caught that the first time. No one laughed though. That's the unfortunate thing. No one laughed at that.
It's great. I think I told you this already, but me and my buddy Ben locked arms and started singing "I'm Just Ken," and he hadn't seen. That's how much of it in the zeitgeist it is. He hasn't. That was the first time I've seen the movie. He knew all the words.
It's like the whole Peaches thing, you know.
Peaches.
I'm seeing Barbie again for a fifth time with my mom. On Thursday, I'm gonna take her to Barbie, and then right after we're seeing Talk to Me, which is such a weird pairing that's gonna work so well. And it's funny because I told my mom the things that my mom and I usually watch together are Margot Robbie movies and A24 films. So literally, we're doing both in one day.
My mom wants to see Talk to Me. I said, I don't know, Mom. They do some fucked up shit with like animals.
My mom really loves The Exorcist. She really liked It Follows and Hereditary. So I think it's totally for her. Like,
no,
because it's wild though. I'll admit, like I was like on the verge of tears the last 10 minutes because it was so fucking stressful.
It actually creeped me out. Like, the scene where she's talking to Riley in the voice with the hunched up, that got me. I mean, that really creeped me. That lingered when I went to sleep.
The thing that fucked with me was seeing him being like violated and ripped apart in hell is the thing that got me. Well, because it was like the Nope scene with the people being digested. It's just a little too uncomfortable where it's like the human screams are too real where you're like, nah, I can't fuck with this.
Well, Nope, the scene in Nope that solidified how great a movie was for me was Happy Birthday. What was the name of the monkey? Happy Birthday.
Where it's the one shot of the monkey just killing everyone.
Happy Birthday, because it's the way it's staged, where it's like almost like a Too Many Cooks thing, where it's juxtaposing innocence with brutality, and it's like.
And then seeing it in IMAX was worse because like the audio mixing, and then hearing like literally the monkey on the other side of the fucking theater be like, nah, this is not okay.
The theater quality. You could hear a pin drop during that scene. Everyone was just dead silent. I mean, you're all.
That's the same thing with the last 10 minutes of Talk to Me. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And like, there was some really violent scenes that everyone was like not talking. But I'm gonna tell you, they need to drop the score because I love the last song. It's giving me End of Hereditary vibes, where I'm like, this is spooky and creepy. And
that last song, my friend intentionally, who works in the movie theater, saw the movie 4 times just to figure out what the name of the song was, to like Shazam it.
Oh yeah.
By the way, for the use of both sides now in Hereditary still is, I think, the best use of out of place.
I really like. I didn't catch it till the second viewing, but I really like that the montage in Talk to Me is an Edith Piaf drill remix.
Yeah. So now, speaking of unnecessarily silly music choices or music choices that are out of place but don't work, in The Baker, the only licensed artist song in the movie is one of my favorites, which is "The Passenger" by Iggy Pop. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
And they play that version. At one point, the little girls listening to music and they're playing "Wouldn't It Be Nice" by the Beach Boys, except it's a really bad sound-alike cover of it.
Oh shit, because they couldn't afford it.
Where it almost sounds a little bit like Brian Wilson, but it's just off a little bit, where it's like, oh, that's not the Beach Boys. At the end of the movie, I guess it's spoilers, who gives a shit? There's a moment where Elias Koteas' character, I don't know their names, it's Elias Koteas, is talking to Ron Perlman, and is telling him shit he already knows because he was on the phone. Basically, I'll just say this. Joel David Moore's character is killed, and he tells, he calls Ron Perlman basically to tell him, my daughter has a peanut allergy, my daughter likes red grapes when she eats, in her cereal, something like that, at the morning, and is coaching him, and then he gets shot in the head. Okay, but he calls Ron Perlman. Like, whatever, fine. It's that typical scene. Later on in the movie, he's holding the gun to Elias Koteas, and at this point, the first moment that happens, the first thing that's they both involve his character. He says, are you sure you know how to use that thing? I'm like, dude, you've seen him kill your men, including with firearms. Fuck you. You know this. This is padding. Stop it. But then he's putting a gun to his head. And as he's walking, the other thing is, it's a lot of scenes of people walking the full way down a hallway with like no point, where it just pads the runtime. And you're just like, okay, get on with it. You want freaking God from Monty Python and the Holy Grail just go, get on with it, like from the clouds. Like you just want cartoon King Jesus, you know. And so he's walking over, and as he's walking in slow motion, of course, they start, emo trailer girl voice goes, wouldn't it be nice?
Okay, why do they have to keep doing that? I'm fine with horror movies using happy songs because Saw X just used The Air I Breathe, and that was a great fucking use of that song in that trailer.
Maybe my second favorite song ever, after American Pie. Like, I fucking love that song.
Man, I gotta say that though, that scene of Billy coming out on the tricycle is so cute, of him with the fucking tools in that trailer.
Dude, it looks legitimately good. It looks legitimately awesome.
I put it on my story. I'm surprised that a Saw film looks well made, which it never does, but this one looks like an actual well-made, suspenseful thriller. I'm like, I'm down for that. And it looks funny as shit too.
Creepy. Like, they did a good job with the editing and the everything with that, but the thing that bothered me most of all was that they play that, but it's slow, and it's as slow as everything else, so it's like, this, like, wouldn't it be nice if we were older?
It's like when Alex Leba uses all those slow songs in his movies, and they don't work.
And so they use that, and then they do this trope, and I fucking hate this trope, and sometimes I'll let it slide. Like, I saw a movie a couple weeks ago, The Miracle Club, which was actually not bad. Like, I think I gave it like 4 out of 5.
Oh, yeah. It's at my theater. I just didn't want to go see.
It was charming enough. It's more like you watch it on Netflix kind of movie, but it was charming enough that I was touched enough by it. It was a grandma movie, but it was a cute grandma movie. I was like, okay, I'll give you a pass on that one. But I hate the trope of little kids who are basically selectively mute. And by selectively mute, it means the whole movie they don't talk, even when someone's in a crisis. And then at the end, as a stupid gag,
they just miraculously do.
Yeah, like, so in this movie, the very last scene before this kind of pointless sequel bait during the credits, I'm not kidding, he says, they're sitting there and they're in the airport trying to decide on where to go next, because now he's taking care of the little girl. And they're standing by... And it's also like, movie, I've seen Up in the Air. It's also made by a Canadian. And guess what? It's a great fucking movie. Stop trying to pay homage to it. So they do the silhouette of basically paying homage for some reason to the end of Up in the Air. You can tell it's what they're doing. It's the exact same positioning that George Clooney was in when they had the freaking ambiguous ending, you know?
Yeah.
With that great monologue, which luckily they don't rip that part off. They don't go family camp and fucking planes, trains, and automobiles with it, but it's almost.
With what did they do with planes, trains, and automobiles?
Oh yeah, did I not tell you this in family camp?
Did they do the fucking scene where John Candy breaks down? It's like, my wife is dead. Did they literally just rip that shit off?
No. What they do is it's even more offensive. What they do is he's tied up. And it's like Jesus. Basically, you know that scene in it's one of the best scenes of acting John Candy's ever done. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when Steve Martin is dressing him down, talking about how much of a pain in the ass he is, and is going on. But again,
in the hotel room. Yeah.
Yes, you care about Del Griffith because it's John Candy. He's likable. Yeah. He plays that irritating chubby guy.
And he gives that speech of like, well, everyone, misunderstands me.
And it's a touching moment of character development where he's like, you want to hurt me? Go ahead if it makes you feel any better. That whole scene. Yeah. They do it almost verbatim, but but with a lot more references to Jesus. That it's the exact fucking scene.
That's fucking sad. That's disappointing because that proves that people aren't good filmmakers. Their whole thing is we're just gonna rip off better movies like that.
So they're sitting there, and also the song "The Passenger" is featured prominently in "Up in the Air." I mean, it's one of those songs that's in there a lot, and so
that's how you can tell it's a ripoff. Is that they use the same exact fucking song?
And it was filmed primarily where I'm from, which is St. Louis, but it was produced in Canada because Jason Reitman wrote and directed it. So like the thing is that it's Telefilm was one of the producers along with I think like DreamWorks on that one. So like. He made that, so it's pretty, it was an Oscar nominee for Best Picture and all sorts of other things. And so, watching it, it's a great movie. I mean, Up in the Air is a great movie. So you're watching
I'd say Juno's better, but I agree.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have a very particular attachment to Up in the Air, personally, because it was one of those movies that really affected me at a young age, like, watching it. But again, so they have that moment, and they're sitting in the airport, like, thinking about where to go, and then the passenger plays over the intercom. And it's like, the girl does not say a word for the whole fucking movie. Even when her grandfather is, like, bleeding to death, she pulls the fire alarm to not talk. Like, it's that kind of thing. And then at the end of the movie, they're sitting there, and she smiles, and the grandpa's smiling, and he's kind of tapping his foot, and he looks over at her, and she's just smiling, she goes, I love this song. And he looks wide-eyed, like, wow, like you finally talked. Roll credits. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Like, they thought they were so fucking smart doing that. Like, they thought they were so ingenious. Yeah.
Fuck you, movie. Yeah, it made me so mad. It's like, you stop. So anyway, back to Elias Koteas. So he's holding him down. He's about to shoot him. They played the freaking emo fucking I Miss You wannabe sounding I Miss You by Blink-182 fucking type of take on Wouldn't It Be Nice? At the end of the movie, that's honestly an insult to Blink-182. I like Blink-182. Anyway, but he goes and he's about to shoot him in the head. And, like, push by Matchbox 20 and how it's used in Barbie, this is not. I mean, like, for real. So he's holding his...
Yeah. Or the way they use Mariah Carey in Beau is Afraid.
I know. Exactly. In Beau is Afraid, the use of Always Be My Baby. And fucking
it's a juxtaposition to how horrific that scene is,
Absolutely, and it's effective. It made it hard to listen to that song again next time I heard it. So, but here's the thing. So they play it. Elias Koteas is about to die. And it's real pretentious, and he goes, I just want you to know that when your boy died, he always thought of nothing but himself. He wasn't, or no, he didn't think of himself. He only thought of his little girl. He thought of her peanut allergy and the fact that she liked red grapes. And I'm like, fuck you, he knows! God damn it! He was on the phone with him. You're wasting time, Elias Koteas. Shut the fuck up. So the whole movie was like that, and then it's just completely pointless. It's also a movie where they seem to forget that that you have to use the right and left fucking audio channel when you fucking have sound in a fucking movie. Because the sound is cutting out from line to line. What?
How long is this movie?
Hour 46.
That sounds like they should have cut out at least 16 minutes.
They should have cut out at least 45 minutes. I'm telling you, a large chunk of this movie is unnecessary bullshit. In fact, it's barely even an action movie, and the one time that they do like an action sequence, they're trying to go for like a oneer kind of thing. Honestly, almost kind of like what they did in Talk to Me. Again, well, that opening scene.
What I'll say is that I love that oneer, and I told my mom, because our screenings are so close, I'm like, we got to run to Talk to Me, because if you don't see the opening oneer, then you don't get the movie. But that's such a great use of the oneer. It's unfortunate that people think they could just do it and get away with it, because it's like, you got to have it be actually impactful if you're going to do a one shot.
I mean, it's done. But here's the thing: it's a oneer, but it's a oneer made by someone who's competent. So it's in the back of the bakery truck, and they're fighting. Mm-hmm. There is no light. You can't see where anyone is. They fight, but here's the thing: it's a oneer, but it's a oneer by someone who clearly had one hand was downing 3 Red Bulls, the other hand was jerking off,
rolling a rock.
Literally, the camera just shakes. Like this is. Imagine a oneer like this.
I think that's probably to partially hide the fact that they weren't actually fighting, which I find that type of action really unfortunately terrible, is like shaky cam to cover over the fact that they're not actually making contact with each other.
It's so bad. And it's almost as bad as the fact that Twitter is no longer Twitter.
I thought I was safe, and then I woke up today and it was X, and I'm like, well, fuck you. There's only one good X in this world, and it's not made by Elon Musk. It's made by Ty West.
Fucking Ty West. Yeah, it was exactly. Fucking A. Yeah, this movie, can we end this review now and just get to trailer trash? I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I really don't think we've even really talked about the movie. I want to hear the trailer trash, because usually these types of movies have really shitty trailers. Yeah, I got to say that before. I'll tell you my trailer trash for Talk to Me, because it was really bad. It was the Demeter, the Dracula boat movie. It looks okay. And then you have It Lives Inside, which was the best looking trailer.
That looks actually good.
And then we had After Everything, which is such a weird choice for Talk to Me, but it was there.
Is that still coming out? Because if so, I'm kind of giddy, because that's like my bad movie guilty pleasure, or the After.
The last one, though, was this fucking movie with Wesley Snipes about fucking male strippers. I don't know why they showed that at Talk to Me, but they did. They should have showed Saw instead.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll just tell you what I got for Talk to Me and see if ours sync up. And then we'll do trailer trash. So I got A Haunting in Venice.
I wish.
Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbird and Snakes.
I got that at Barbie, and I got Haunting in Venice at Haunted Mansion.
Oh, I got a lot of these multiple movies, but I'm just listening. Mm-hmm. Red Band trailer for Kraven the Hunter. Literally, I was waiting for the movie to start, it got moved to next August. So that's not going to be
fucking funny.
Kraven the Hunter, The Nun 2, The Nunjuring, as Mark Kermode calls it, The Exorcist Believer, Killers of the Flower Moon, which looks awesome, actually.
Mm-hmm. Weird choice to put with it, but yeah.
Priscilla, the Sofia Coppola Elvis movie, which actually looks really fucking good.
Yeah. And Problemista.
And then Problemista, which just got moved also from like next week to like...
Which is unfortunate, because I'm really scared for the future of film, because what I heard was, this isn't a solidification, but I heard a possibility that Drive Away Dolls was going to be like the opening Midnight Madness movie at TIFF, and then they pushed it to fucking next February, which I'm like, who's going to go fucking see it in February?
Well, that movie was going to have unfortunately, I feel like that movie, though, was always destined to have a limited theatrical audience, which is too bad.
It was, but it's unfortunate, because it would have been great to see at a film festival with a bunch of like 1,000 other people, but now I'm delegated to seeing it at home on my TV because they pushed it, you know?
Yeah, all right, so here's my trailer trash for The Baker now. So we got Golda, which has Helen Mirren doing the Darkest Hour, I Want an Oscar, even though the movie's coming out apparently in August movie. Which it looks alright. I mean, Helen Mirren's going to be good regardless.
I didn't like Darkest Hour, though, so that's a weird comparison. I hated that movie.
Sucked. I hate fucking Darkest Hour. That movie is overrated as I don't like Joe Wright as a director. There's only really
it's a movie. It's really just a movie for like history film bros. Like other than that, it's like a fucking stupid movie.
You know what? My theater made a mistake. The first time I watched Darkest Hour was at the Oscar because it didn't go in a part.
Oh, because they did the 10 in a row marathon.
They did a 10 in a row marathon. I only stayed for what I needed to, but it was right after Dunkirk, and I already seen Dunkirk twice. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go early and see Dunkirk and see how it syncs up. When you watch those movies together, it makes Darkest Hour look so much worse because Dunkirk is so good, and Darkest Hour is
and then you
so
jump to the next moment of history, and it's boring as shit. Yeah.
And then the next movie I saw, which was the last movie I needed to see that day, was fucking Call Me By Your Name, which was fucking awesome.
That's a good way to end it, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Golda, I love Helen Mirren. It looks better. It did use the PJ Harvey Bad Sisters cover of Who by Fire by fucking what's his name? The guy who did Hallelujah, who just died.
Ricky Martin.
No, Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Bad Sisters, holy shit, watch that show. It's fucking amazing. It's written by Sharon Horgan. Sharon Horgan is a goddamn genius. Anyway, Retribution, new Liam Neeson action movie. Honestly, this looks kind of fun for like a Z.
Does it look like Blacklight and all the other fucking the one about the memories?
No, because
they all look the same.
At least this one though has kind of a fun gimmick. It's not original, but it's kind of fun, which is it's almost like one of my favorite cheesy B movies, Transporter 3. It's almost like
is it the one about him stuck in the car and he can't stop the car?
He and his kids are trapped in a car, and if they get out, the car will blow up. And so
which is like a less cool speed. The last cool gimmick he did was when he killed people in a snowmobile.
Yeah. Cold Pursuit is honestly a really fucking good movie that a lot of people.
It was a shitty movie, but it was fun to watch. I'll say that. Just like Willy's Wonderland, shitty movie but fun to watch.
I don't think Cold Pursuit was shitty though. I think it was intentionally a dark comedy, and I think it did a pretty good job. Honestly.
I guess so, yeah.
Like a Coen-y kind of movie, take on a Liam Neeson movie. I kind of dug it.
Put him in the wood chipper, yeah.
Retribution, and then like at the end when the dude falls into the freaking exactly. And then having all the people who die, their names pop up on the screen with like freaking like dashes. Like that was funny. I also got Last Voyage of the Demeter, which honestly looks kind of cool. I like that they're doing different aspects of the Dracula book.
First screening of Talk to Me, it was the first time I saw that trailer, so it was kind of interesting. I saw a lot of trailers for the first time before these recent movies just because I haven't been watching trailers. And I'm like, I guess I saw them now, like the new Marvels and shit. But the Demeter, when we were watching that, the guy behind me said after, he's like, my prediction for the Rotten Tomatoes score, 26%. And I just started laughing. I'm like, that's kind of funny because that's probably what's going to happen.
But you know what's bizarre, though? Some of the casting choices are weird. I'm like, I watch him like, is that the girl
like David Death Melchin?
Is that the fucking chick from Jennifer Quintanilla? Is that the fucking kid from Come On, Come On? Like, what the fuck is this? What's going on?
It looks like very much just a collection of like people who were in decent movies, but no one remembers that they were in decent movies, just put together to make a Dracula movie.
Nobody saw them.
Or nobody knows they're in it, like David Death Melchin in every Christopher Nolan film. Like, he's in it. Yeah, he's in it. You gotta look, or like like when he's in Prisoners, people don't realize he's in it. It's like, yeah, he's in it. You just don't really see him.
What I love about for those who don't remember, Come On, Come On was like number 4 on my fucking best of 2021 list. I fucking love that.
That was a movie where I felt like I needed to sit through the credits just because of what it was.
It was so moving and so real and so great.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it. Yeah. And then Nightingale, I mean, that's not a movie you want to rewatch again right away, but holy fucking shit.
It's like trying to rewatch Revenge. It's like watching that subgenre again. You can't really rewatch it, but they're powerful movies, you know? It's
like someone told me, I got an email saying, like, why don't you go watch the correct order cut that they recently did of Irreversible? And it's like, first and foremost, one, I don't want to live through that's a great movie. I don't want to live through it again. Second off, why would I watch Irreversible the exact way that Gaspar Noé would not want me to fucking watch it? Like, really?
What I heard, because everyone knows the movie starts with the really infamous scene. what people have said to me is that it ruins the movie because it's literally feels like exploitative because you're leading up to the terrible scene, which they said never watch it that way because it literally ruins the fucking movie.
You know what Roger Ebert said about when he reviewed it? This is the best take I've ever heard from like a mainstream.
The original cut. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was when he was alive to see. He gave it 4 stars out of 4, and he said that this movie's going to be rough. And he goes, but the idea that it's exploitation, he says, is completely untrue if you watch the movie in the proper context. He says that what the movie does brilliantly is that it removes the possibility of exploitation by showing you the exploitative stuff first, and then showing you how it happened, so that you're implicit
and what built up to it. Yeah.
Right. You get to see the horror for what it really is, horrific. It's not like...
And you feel bad because you know what it's leading to, and you're like, guys, stop doing this, stop doing this. It's like what he felt with when he really liked Crash, and everyone was like, why do you like Crash? He's like, it's fucking great, guys. It's amazing.
It is really fucking good, to be really... Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Retribution, Last Wedge of the Meteor... Gran Turismo, which I guess is fucking moving 2 weeks off. Like, who cares? Just put it out on August 11th. Nobody's going to see that.
I don't believe... Well, everyone's saying they got pushed because of... People are like, oh, we got pushed because of Barbenheimer. I'm like, no, it got pushed because they can't promote the movie and no one wants to see it. That's why. And also, I don't get the... I don't believe the bullshit that it's based on a true story. There's no way it's based on a true story.
To me, that whole thing... The fact that it's played, I think I believe it more easily.
They said it 3 times in the trailer. It's like saying the Conjuring films are based on a true story. It's like, nah, not really.
It's like, but it's also feeding into the fantasy that has kind of caused problems in the video game culture, which is playing our silly little games can make you actually good at combat and
It just feeds this like gamer dude bro energy that it's actually gaming's actually that important when it's not. It's a little weird. And also Neil Blomkamp doing it is such a strange choice. But I guess he hasn't been able to get anything after Chappie, just because Chappie bombed.
Well, here's the thing about Neil Blomkamp. It breaks my freaking heart because here's the thing. Look,
he did Demonic, right? Yeah, Demonic I heard was terrible.
I haven't seen Gran Turismo yet. Who knows? It might surprise me. Stranger things have happened. But the thing is that Neil Blomkamp, Chappie, I actually think has more merit than some people give it credit for. It's a little bit weird and a little more unexpected than I think.
Strange. You got that D Antwoord cameo as their drug dealer. It's like
it has a little more to it than I think people give it credit for. It didn't move in the way other movies of a similar budget and level of hype do, and I kind of admired that.
It's a strange movie. I would say it's a strange movie that people are going to love later in life. I don't know about Demonic though. I think Demonic will always be trash.
It has like a fucking Speed Racer feel to it, where it's like this movie isn't going to hit now, but holy shit, it's going to get a cult someday.
Your kids are going to love it, you know.
Yeah, like fucking Demonic was terrible. Elysium was just kind of whatever. And then you think back to like fucking District 9. District 9 was so fucking great, and then you're like.
It's not perfect, but I think it's a really great sci-fi film for its time.
It did, but it was original for what it was. It was original in how it approached a somewhat unoriginal.
And what it was saying is really important too, about the whole like separation and shit.
Yeah, and it was a great debut for a young filmmaker just starting out. I mean, it was a confident debut. And then since then, like. He just hasn't fulfilled that potential. It's such a bummer because like he's so anyone who can make that can do better than like fucking Demonic and fucking Gran Turismo. I'm sorry.
And after you've made District 9 and Chappie and you go and make Demonic and it's weird, and then you make I always thought it was strange that he was doing Gran Turismo because I knew that it wasn't going to stretch his creative qualities he has in sci-fi, and then I saw the trailer. I'm like, this looks worse than Need for Speed. How is that possible? It looks more generic than Need for Speed.
It looks like we need someone who can move a camera somewhat well and who can take this script and direct it. Let's hire Neil Blomkamp. He's not doing much.
The only cool shit he does is the way he shoots behind the car in the start of the trailer, and it follows it. But that's not really original because I think Harmony Korine just did that with the Travis Scott movie. He shot it that way.
By the way, we didn't fucking get it
here. We have enough. Do you know there's two Harmony Korine Travis Scott movies this year?
I did not.
Did you hear about the other one? It might
I
play
didn't know there
TIFF,
were
the
two
other
fucking
one.
Harmony Korine movies this year. That's the
There's
first I hear about that.
There's a movie about a guy. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that Travis Scott is in it, and they shot the whole movie with infrared cameras, so it's going to be really hard to watch, but it's going to be so creative.
Well, that's all Harmony Korine.
And it's A24.
Right. Well, like, there are people who I think Julian Donkey Boy is a fucking masterpiece, and when people fucking watch that movie, they're like, it hurt my eyes. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to.
And like it's that thing where people are like, why is it shaky cam? I'm like, well, that's the purpose. It's supposed to feel like real, and it does. It's a good movie.
And the casting of fucking Werner Herzog as the abusive dad. I mean, all the stuff in that movie. Like
when he has that whole fucking speech about Dirty Harry.
No, that, and then the other thing. Well, yeah, when he talks about Dirty Harry, and then he says that's the problem with you. That's a problem with you. You know, all artsy fartsy. That's real. I stop with the artsy fartsy stuff. I want something that's real. And it's like, and he thinks Dirty Harry is real. That's just fucking amazing. Anyway, that's a great movie. Gummo's a great movie. Everything that guy's done has had merit, including kids. I'm fucking sorry. It's true.
I would say last time I tried to watch it with Janelle for the podcast. We just got really uncomfortable and we decided to do Spring Breakers instead. I think it's an important movie. I can't watch it. I can't watch it again because of it is really uncomfortable. But Spring Breakers is fucking great because Spring Breakers is a satire.
But it's not exploitative. Like, I think that's a misconception.
It rides the line, but it doesn't go past the line.
It has something meaningful to say, though. And if you have that, it can't really be exploitative. Because if you do it and you do it successfully, that's not...
Yeah.
But the other thing is, a fun story I want to tell you about Spring Breakers. Real quick. So I had a theater in the next town over, Alton. When I was in college... Me and my classmates, we would always have the same classes, and our teachers, for some reason, would always cancel, and we'd have, like, a 7 fucking hour lunch break, because from, like, 8 a.m. to fucking, like, 3. So, like, we would just commute to the fucking, like, Eastgate Theater for, like, 2 months. We just saw whatever was out, and almost all of it was bad. It was, like, fucking Movie 43, fucking, which, honestly, I think has some funny parts.
That was a bad year for films.
Yeah, but overall, and then the movie that we sent it off for, it was the beginning of our sophomore, our freshman second semester, was Spring Breakers. We saw that movie like before class, and when we got there, it was the first class we were taking together, collectively, and the introduction is, and they didn't realize we'd just seen it like an hour ago. We just got back from seeing it because it was such a long break. So they said, I just saw this movie on Friday. The fucking worst. It's called fucking Spring Breakers. And me and the rest of the group like, fuck no! The movie's fucking amazing.
It's funny. The first time I rewatched it since I saw it when I was a teenager. I was stoned as hell. It's a great ass movie because it's a satire on that time. And like, it's funny because I watched it again with Janelle after, because we were watching it for the podcast. She fucking was like, her what the fuck moment was him getting double gun blowjob. Was like the really weird scene where she's like, what the fuck are we watching?
The threesome in the fucking hot tub. And the fucking, with this fucking Skrillex music. And then also, Spring Break.
Just the way that I know he's a terrible piece of shit, but his two best performances are Disaster Artist and Spring Breakers, just because his performance is so fucking, he's introduced and he's like, I'm alien. It's like, what the fuck are we watching, bro?
If you watch, on the first year of my channel, I did a room tour just for the hell of it, to just do as an announcement video.
Yeah.
And I started the video showing my room around, and I'm like, look at all my shit. I did the freaking...
Look at shit. Got spray Calvin Klein 95. The
fucking great. And then the Beach Bum right afterward. Beach Bum is fucking underrated.
It's funny because that's what I'm saying. I watched both of those in the same night, stoned, and I'm like, they're so fucking good. Like, they're so like the beach. You go from Spring Breakers, which is a condemnation of youth, to the Beach Bum, where it's just him hanging out, being like, beach. He's literally the epitome of my job is beach. Like,
He's Beach Ken if he was also fucking Wooderson from Dazed and Confused again. Like, it's kind of fucking amazing. Anyway,
it's a movie that makes no sense, but it's great.
Moving on, or we're gonna be here all day. So Meg 2: The Trench, which I don't know, it looks like fun to me. I like the first one.
I'll see it at home. I saw the first one at home. They're fun, stupid B movies. They're like
They are. They're not high art, but it's summer, it's August. I want to have some fun at the movies.
If you want to see, it is very much just it's better than a lot of shark movies these days.
No. It's not Jaws, but it sure as fuck is 47 meters down. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then the last one is a red band. It's The Retirement Plan. Now, this is the one that is also Canadian. It's produced by the same team who did this. It also has Ron Perlman in it, but the lead in it is fucking Nicolas Cage. And I don't know why. It's probably going to be shitty, but the trailer made me laugh because they let him be crazy-ass Nicolas Cage. It's the same plot, basically. It's the same plot, basically. So... like a dude finds out his grandkid he never had, bad guys come for him and the grandkid, but the difference, it's the same plot, the difference is that it's a comedy, so like it's fucking, like he turns out his daughter is like a hit woman, and his daughter is fucking Ashley Greene from Twilight, and Nicolas Cage, there's a part where he like karate chops a dude in the fucking throat, and he's like, ugh, like that, and he falls over, and then Nicolas Cage waits for the body to hit the floor, and he just looks over and he just goes, like this, and it's like imitating him, and I was losing it. So I let him.
If I'm gonna be honest, even though I heard it's mid, I'm more excited for Sympathy for the Devil, where he's just in the that movie looks kind of stupid as fuck, but fun. Where it's like he's the devil and he's forcing him to do Collateral. It's literally Collateral, just Nicolas Cage.
Oh, so it's Ghost Rider 3.
It very much, because like it's him with red hair being like, I gotta kill some people and you gotta drive me around, and it looks fucking crazy, but I heard it's bad because it played at Fantasia. But I'll still see it because it's Nicolas Cage screaming and shit, and it's R-rated.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, like my favorite guilty pleasure bad movie is Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of Vengeance. I can watch that fucking shit anytime.
Ghost Rider 2 is more fun to watch than Ghost Rider 1. I'll say that. Because it's ridiculous. But Ghost Rider 2 has him like peeing fire and shit. It's just really fucking weird and stupid, but it's fine. Also,
you can also tell it was clearly made by the same fucking dudes who made the Crank movies. Like, it has the same energy to it. It has the same insanity level.
Now that's a movie that you either really enjoy or you fucking despise, just because of how fucking insane it is.
Speaking of great out-of-context uses of music, Crank 2 fucking High Voltage, when at the very end, when he's on fire and he like kisses the woman and she, like, it incinerates, and he flips off the camera and it starts playing Keep On Loving You by fucking R.E.M. Speedwagon. That's fucking amazing.
Did you hear about Crank 3? Did you ever hear about Crank 3?
Is it gonna happen?
They made it, but they're not allowed to release it. So essentially the full movie was made, but for some reason they never wrote off and let them do it. Actually, I know the reason why. The plot of the movie was that he was going around, it was a satire on Hollywood. He was going around and killing pedophile elites. And that's what the plot was. But they didn't release it because I think too many people were like, nah, because it was before the Harvey Weinstein, like, getting in trouble for his shit. So I think the thing was they were still in the phase where they're like, we're not going to tell people this is happening. So they're like, you can't release this movie, though, because it's finished. From what I heard, it's finished. They shot the movie. But because of that plot line and the fact that they were making fun of Hollywood and being like, they're all pedophile elites and we're going to kill them all, they were like, we can't release this. This is not going to
The last thing I heard about it was I had sort of a kind of Facebook friend at the time when Gamer was coming out who had like a bit part in it. Mm-hmm. And they told me that they heard on good authority that they were going to shoot the third one in 3D. And I said, that sounds like fucking...
They were going to do it in 3D. They were going to release in like 2012. But the plot line... It's something to do with the plot line. They were just like, we can't do this. But I heard that it was vicious and it was violent and it was wild.
Well,
but because it was very much the Gremlins 2 of that franchise, they were like, we can't release this. This is not getting put out, but it's finished somewhere. They have it in the vault somewhere. They just need to like finish it up and drop it.
That's pretty rad. So anyway, and then just to finish this off, was there shawarma? Yeah, it's pointless and dumb, and it takes forever. There's a mid-credits.
What? Anyway. What? Oh, shawarma. Oh, yeah. That's funny. I didn't think about calling it shawarma. Yeah.
So we've now run over an hour on this.
Love Kiddo.
Just this. Who cares? Fuck this movie.
I think we talked about the movie for 10 minutes. I think we genuinely talked for 10 minutes, and the rest of it was talking about better movies.
Yeah, like fucking. Just go fucking look. If you're in a theater, I'm gonna say this. If you're in a theater and the options for the Showtime are Barbie, Talk to Me, Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, or this, and one of your friend groups says, "I don't know, let's go see The Baker."
Just don't be friends with them anymore.
Just cut them out of your life like a fucking cancer.
Well, because like you have 4 great ass movies. Even if you want to see a mid as fuck movie, you have Haunted Mansion. But you're gonna go see this one. It's a little weird that you would choose this one. But seriously though, go support the Australians. Go support Ronald McDonald Chicken Store Massacre.
Go support like. Oh, is that them? Fuck.
Yeah, wait, you didn't know that was them? They did the Star Wars in Real Life, Street Fighter video, and then they did the Ronald McDonald Playground Massacre. Yeah, no, that was them.
That's fucking awesome.
It makes sense now. When you watch this movie, it makes sense now because the movie's fucked up, and it's also got that weird camera movements that they do in those videos.
It's also kind of funny at parts, I have to say. Talk to me.
Yeah.
There are some dark moments.
Are we talking like the line that always got people? Well, the dog thing was funny, but the line that got everyone was when what's her face, Zoe. I can't say. I don't want to try to say her last name, but she just saw my story because I shared her photos that were cool on behind the scenes. When she says, "This spirit is a cunt," that's the line that gets everyone every time. That's the line that everyone's like, "Oh, that's so funny." I'm like, "Yeah, it is funny. It's good."
In the early going, one of my favorite lines in the movie is from. By the way, God bless her. It's so nice to see her in a good movie again. Miranda Otto.
Yeah. Well, she was good in Kajillionaire. It's just no one saw Kajillionaire.
Was she in Kajillionaire?
I think she was. She was the mom. She was the mom in Kajillionaire.
No, that was Deborah Winger.
No, Miranda Otto. What, didn't she make the film? No, she's a part of it.
No, Miranda July made the film.
Oh, Miranda July. I thought we were talking about Miranda August.
No, dude, that was Deborah Winger who played the mom.
Oh wait, what has she done since then? What's the big thing? Because
she was on.
She's a great Australian talent.
She's amazing, and like she's also like.
Are you gonna the line that you're referring to? Is it the my daughter's vagina off limits?
Well, that was
is that the line?
That was funny.
Yeah.
No, the line I was thinking of was when she's at the bathroom mirror, and the daughter's talking about she wants to go out with was it Danny? She wants to go out with Danny, and she says something to the extent of like if you think he's gonna try anything, like he's really religious, and she looks over with this the total curtness in her voice and goes, "He still has a dick." Like,
what I'll say is I'm really excited to see it with my mom because the great way to explain that movie is the first half is a little creepy, but once that fucking kid's face gets destroyed, the movie gets fucked up for the rest of it. I'm really interested to see how my mom reacts to that turn because every time I was in the theater, everyone it started where it's like, oh yeah, 50 seconds, whatever. And everyone was like, oh no, this is not fucking good. This is not going to end well.
The last movie I saw her in was Downhill, which was that remake of Force Majeure.
Oh, yeah, the really shitty Force Majeure remake. Yeah, that wasn't funny because it wasn't Ruben Östlund.
I remember watching that and kind of liking it, and then I saw Force Majeure, and it made me like it less because of Force Majeure.
Well, yeah, because then you watch his other stuff. You watch The Square is fucking ridiculous, and Triangle of Sadness is a goddamn amazing film.
I love fucking Triangle of Sadness. Anyway, but also she was Aunt Zelda on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which started good.
Okay.
Fell off.
Yeah. And then, because I remember her mostly, like everyone does, from Lord of the Rings.
Wasn't she also in Minority? No, that wasn't. Samantha Morton is what I'm thinking. Sorry, get out of here, Riff. Fuck off. I'm thinking of Samantha Morton. I was gonna say Minority Report, but I'm thinking of fucking Samantha Morton. But yeah, this movie. Just go see. Fucking Talk to Me. That's the lesson of this movie.
I found a 3D printed. You can buy for $8. You can get a 3D printed file to make the hand, and I kind of want to, so I can put it on my living room table.
You know that A24 is going to put that on their shop. You just know
they better fucking do it. I'm gonna wait, and if they don't, I'll make it myself. But if they do, that will be one of the only pieces of merchandise I buy from them, just so I can like have it in my apartment.
Oh, speaking of, do you see my face right now? You see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 second. And then we're going to call it a night, because I got shit to do. I'm done talking about this piece of garbage.
Are you good? When we literally didn't talk about it.
Here.
I have the After Sun Blu-ray, but the After Sun Blu-ray is in a moving box right now, so I'm not going to take it out, but I have the After Sun Blu-ray.
I want to get the Marcel the Shell Blu-ray, but anyway. Look at the box. Read what it says.
What does it fucking say? Florida Murder?
Florida Murder, you have the wrong number. Pop it open. This is what you see.
Okay.
You got this from A24, and then you got this. Hey, bitch, want to hear a story? About how me and this bitch fell out?
Oh, wait, is that the script?
No, it's a book of the fucking Twitter thread from fucking Zola.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. Okay, that's a movie. Before we go, that's a movie that no one's seen, but I think is actually one of A24's most interesting movies. But because of the subject matter, people don't want to watch it. Same with Red Rocket. Just because it's about sex workers, people are like, I don't want to watch it. But Zola is actually fucking great. Like, I watched it again recently. I'm like, this is like funny as shit.
And here's the thing. I was in the theater... When that came out, I went opening day, which was like a fucking Tuesday or something, here in the States. Nobody, I was the only one in the theater, and then when I did talk to people who said like it was good until the ending, it's like, see, I fucking love the ending. I think the ending is perfect. That it's
the movie's outrageous. Coleman Domingo screaming in some like fake ass accent the whole movie. It's a wild fucking movie, and then having it end with him like trying to kill himself, I think it's just a fitting ass way to end the film, being like him jumping out the fucking window.
Nicholas Braun being a freaking like
being a cop is so funny.
Oh, freaking Nicholas Braun, we're making shmoney, like fucking Cousin Greg, bro. Like, I remember when that dude was the fucking glowing dude from fucking Sky High. Look where he's gone.
I forgot he was that. That is true. He was in that. I'm surprised he wasn't in Oppenheimer because he was pulling all the childhood.
Everybody fucking else was in it.
Yeah.
Someone made.
Well, literally, Josh Hartnett was in it, and he was in Sky High.
Josh Peck was in it.
Yeah.
I pointed this out. They were doing a Barbenheimer live stream, and I said, "This has got to be Josh Peck's best movie since Snow Day." And immediately people were like, "The Whackness, Mean Creek." I'm like, "Oh yeah, fuck. Josh Peck has been in some good movies. My bad."
He's been in some good movies, but he's been out of the light for a while, so it's cool that he's in this movie. But frankly, he doesn't really have a role. He's kind of like sidelined like everyone else, except Jack Quaid gets to play the drums, which is kind of the bongos, which is kind of funny.
He's there. Michael Angarano is there, and he gets like 2 fucking lines.
I would say everyone's trying to say Robert Downey Jr. is the best supporting role, but that is not true because it's David Krumholtz is the best supporting performance.
I would say
that was a great performance.
That he was good, but I would say this: if it were me, it's between Downey Jr. and fucking Benny Safdie. I think they both are kind of
Benny. I would say for me it's Krumholtz or Benny Safdie. I think my choice. Ron, like those were 2 really unexpectedly good performances in that.
Also,
movie.
Jason Clarke did a pretty good job. He wasn't in it a lot, but when he did a pretty good job.
It's a decent. I think.
We're just talking about good movies now.
We're talking about good movies now. I would say I would take 7 Oppenheimers over one of The Baker, and I haven't seen The Baker.
Well, but the other thing is, like, as much as you kind of feign disliking Oppenheimer for the sake of Barbie, it's a good fucking movie. Like,
it's a good movie, but also I don't. It's not that I hate Oppenheimer because of Barbie. I don't.
You hate the Uber Oppenheimer fans who are transphobic.
No, kind of. But I would say though, my feeling about it came when I saw the movie, which is I just thought it was too long and boring. But it's good that people are liking it. My sister said it's like her new favorite movie, and I'm like, that's great that people fuck with it because it wasn't my thing, but it's someone else's thing. Maybe The Baker is someone else's thing. I don't know.
And stupid people. Anyway.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Someone's thing.
Yeah.
Someone's going to love Spinning Gold. That's going to be their favorite movie of the year.
Stupid people. Anyway, Becca. Before we go, I want to give credit to this person who has officially won Twitter at the very last second before it became X. I want to credit this person. At J Jugadici, I hope I'm saying that quickly. I retweeted this person. The future of Twitter is X, but nobody knows why.
I saw another one about, like, should we just start dead naming Twitter? I'm like, that actually, I would be down for that. Let's just start dead naming Twitter, not call it X, and just be like, oh, Twitter. They'll be like, that's not my name anymore. Well, it is, bitch.
No, I'm calling it Twitter just to stick it to fucking Elon. Anyway, but I was talking to my uncle the other day, and we were talking about Barbie and talking about Ben Shapiro and his stupid little demonic elf cockless ass. And we were talking about, and I said, Uncle Jeff, remember the classic Disney film Tron, where Jeff Bridges is almost trapped in the fucking grid of a computer game and has to play gladiator games? I wish that there was a Twitter version of that where we could just put fucking Ben Shapiro, Elon Musk, and Tucker Carlson, just trap them forever and fucking.
I wish there was a way that we could, like, escape from New York Battle Royale, all these people, where we just say, hey, go for it.
Do a fucking Black Mirror episode. Someone did like a fan Black Mirror film in Japan where a dude who's always on his phone is trapped in his cell phone and he can't get out, and it ends with the power going fucking out and his girlfriend just letting the power run out just to let him die because she's so
you
sick
should
of
send me you should send me what that is because I want to see that because it sounds better than the last 2 seasons of Black Mirror.
Well, here's the thing. Wait, the last season of Black Mirror was good for the most part. The only bad one was
there was one good episode. Everything else was kind of mid as fuck.
The Josh Hartnett, Aaron Paul thing was fucking amazing. That one was so.
What I'll say, it was a not good episode, but it birthed a joke on my letterbox or my serialized, which was, this is surprisingly the second time the plot was about a guy that spends too much time in another guy's body. That was like my serialized. So at least it birthed a funny review for me.
It was funny.
It was boring though.
Did you like Demon 79? Because I actually kind of liked that one, the filmmaking of it, and I like the style of it.
Probably the second best episode of the season, but not great either.
Joan is Awful, I think we can all agree, is the best episode.
Joan is Awful is the best one, but that's because Ali Pankew did it, and frankly, she's probably the best director they've gotten for a long time for that show.
And on top of that, Annie Murphy is a fucking national treasure and deserves the fucking world. And so,
yeah.
Also, for those who don't know, for those Schitt's Creek fans who need another fix, who want to see something with her in it, it wasn't very. Go if you have an AMC, the network. Binge watch. It's only 2 seasons of 8 episodes. They're an hour each. Go fucking binge watch Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It's fan fucking.
Oh yeah. It's. I remember hearing it's good. I didn't see it, but it's one that has always been on the back of my mind. It's like some surrealist shit.
It's surrealist because basically, for those who don't know, Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It was born out of a joke Rashida Jones came up with after watching Kevin Can Wait, the freaking failed CBS comeback vehicle for Kevin James, where she found out that in season 2, the wife, who is the best character, was fucking killed off screen and treated like a punchline. And so she said, what?
Kevin Can Wait was a bad show. It was terrible.
So what would happen if we made a show where the sitcom wife was the focus and she was sick of being undervalued? And
so she just left.
Well, no, she doesn't just leave. That's the thing that's interesting. So
she breaks out of it in a way, right?
Well, the premise of the show is the first 15 minutes. It seems like you're watching a CBS show. It's multi-camera. There's a laugh track. There's studio audience, and it's a guy who's really great. It's one of the dudes who played Shrek on Broadway, and he plays Kevin, and he's like this fat, slobby Jersey, Boston.
All in the Family, Archie Bunker.
Yeah, and he has the tough girl down the street who likes him. He has his best friend who likes the Patriots, and they chug beers together. He has his dad who's lazy, and all of them are really cruel to his wife, including Kevin. And he's emotionally abusive. And then when they're in the living room, it's the sitcom. And then when she goes into the kitchen or goes into her own headspace, it's single camera and it's a drama. And we see what life is like from her perspective. And she realizes that he holds all her finances. He holds all of her life. So what she's going to do is she plots to fucking poison him. And,
yeah, let's pull a Barbie.
And the only one who kind of joins her side is the brother, the sister of the Kevin's best friend, who's also like one of the supporting characters, but she's the token woman buddy, and she's sick of that shit too. So they team, and she's also queer, and so they team up to get back at Kevin, and then in the process of doing so, it spirals out of control, and things just go crazier and crazier, and the seams of reality begin to tear. And then by season 2, what happens is they kind of reboot the show again. But what they do now is, slowly and surely, Kevin's behavior begins to make the sitcom, the cast that would usually be on his side join her side, and eventually you see...
Oh, so it's like, it's like Pleasantville.
Well, he starts to lose his mind, and he's literally making jokes to no one, and eventually the laugh track eventually leaves him too, and then both the reality fully in the last episode becomes her reality, and we see just how much of a fucking monster he is without the studio audience, and it's amazing. Yeah. And she finally gets back at him, and it's glorious. And the whole show...
Annie Murphy's great. I've seen her in... What did I see her in recently? I saw her in something.
Right, and to think that the show, it's only 2 seasons long, but it tells a complete story and tells it well, and it has a good beginning, middle, and end. And to think it came out of a joke, like a joke about a failed sitcom, and it's like, this is one of the...
Oh, that's what it is. She's in that movie that's going to play at TIFF with Jessie Buckley. That's what I'm thinking of. I might go see that. They shot it here.
She's also on a cartoon now that Mike Judge is producing that's actually really funny called Praise Petey, where she's doing the voice of this girl who... She's like a socialite who...
She was on... That's what I saw her on. Russian Doll Season 2. She played Ruth,
I still haven't seen
Ruth.
Season 2 yet. I've seen Season 1.
It's good shit. But the twist of it is really interesting. The twist of how it's different is cool.
Isn't it like alternate realities? Because like the first one was...
No, the first one is repeating the day over and over again. This one is more of... She goes into the body. She keeps traveling back into the body of someone. So
that's cool.
It's essentially what they did with the 5 Devils, but you're essentially just going in the body of someone else and living their life for a bit. But the way they twist it and it makes sense is actually kind of fucking ingenious. But yeah.
But it's just crazy. And the thing is like, there's another show, and there's a joke. This show called Praise Petey, where she does the voice. She's like a socialite whose father, who's voiced by Stephen Root, dies, and she thinks she's inheriting his home or like his like house, but it turns out she's inheriting a cult that he was the leader of, and she decides to turn it around and make it more like give freedom to everybody. And all of them are so used to the cult that they butt heads with her. And the show, there's a joke where the moment she realizes the cult is, they have a celebrity there, and it's Alan Tudyk playing Alan Tudyk doing the voice, like a cartoon version of him. And he's sacrificed on an altar, and they freaking murder him. And she acts like she doesn't recognize him, and then she starts like vomiting, and the other member's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I thought you didn't even know who Alan Tudyk was." He goes, "Of course I fucking knew who Alan Tudyk was. He's in everything. He's like a male Judy Greer. He's a national fucking treasure." I was crying. I mean, it was really funny. So that's also a really good. It's on Hulu, I think. Or Disney Plus in Canada, I guess. Very funny show. So anyway, that's all things you should watch instead of the fucking Baker, everybody.
I completely forgot we were talking about the Baker like 40 minutes ago.
All right, but anyway, like, subscribe, do the things. Tell me below, what did you think of the movie, all that stuff. Take care of your mental health.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, just see something else. Fuck me. You didn't
Kiss
see this
my
movie.
ass.
Hey, Telefilm, bring North and Norman to the U.S., you cowards. And while you're at it,
Or just let me and everyone I know make movies, because we'll make better movies if you just let us make movies.
Or better yet, if you're not going to give it to us, at the very least, be like Chandler Vack and be cool with the fact that we're fucking illegally downloading your movie because we can't fucking watch it otherwise.
Hey, I sent it to you on legal terms.
Yes,
I owned the movie.
Becca, I'm the one who should get in trouble, not you. I know.
Yes, because anyway. I liked the movie.
Oh no, I loved it. I like movies. I fucking loved it. Anyway, it wouldn't be on my list right now if they would fucking release it in this country.
I don't want to buy any of these Talk to Me sweaters because they're ugly. Have you seen the sweaters?
Is it the yellow sweater she's wearing?
No, but like they have merchandise they made for the movie. I can't wear any of this out because one of them has her possessed, which is kind of cool, but the back has him pulling his eye out. Like, do I really think I could wear that in public? Another one has like the demon face that's like ripped and shit, and I'm like, I can't wear that in public. Why would I buy that? People would think I'm weird.
And here's the other thing: if you, the only sweater I'm gonna get from a movie this year is fucking the I Am Knuff sweater. I want that for my fucking birthday.
That is definitely Mattel has that now, so that's cool.
By the way, so the lesson of the day, kids, is don't see the baker. Hey, check me out. Go
see Barbie and talk to me. Hey, check me out. I'm just
Ken. Good night, everybody. Bye, Becca. They say hi, bye to the people. Let's say good night.
I guess bye. Bye to the one person that watched.
For the no people that watched, thanks for being my emotional support, Becca, to this evening. All right. Bye, everybody. You know what? Fuck it. Go watch Sex Education if you liked Barbie, because like half the fucking cast is in that, and it's really fucking good. Anyway,
or if you like Talk to Me. If you like Talk to Me, go watch Heartbreak High. It's essentially just the Australian version of Talk to Me.
If you like Talk to Me, go fucking.
Or it's the Australian version of fucking Sex Education. I mean, it's Sex Education but Australian. It's great.
It's Sex Education but scary and fucked up, and not just the episode where.
What I mean is Heartbreak High is the Australian version of Sex Education, which everyone should watch because it's good and it's on Netflix and they're getting a season 2.
Also, if you wanna watch a really good Ron Perlman is a badass movie, just fucking watch Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. That movie's still.
Or watch that video where he wanted to kill Bob Iger.
Okay, that thing where he's threatening to kill Bob Iger has better acting from him in that short little video than in the entirety of this movie.
And it's so real because he actually wants to kill Bob Iger.
Yeah, for good reason. So do I. All right. Good night,
Goddamn Disney mouse. Fuck the mouse. Fuck the mouse. Yeah. Fuck Disney. Haunted Mansion was shit. Fuck the mouse.
Oh, well, see, I liked Haunted Mansion. Here's the thing. Disney's films are not the problem. Their corporate thing has always been the problem.
It'd be cool if I was 7 years old, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying is I like Haunted Mansion for the similar reasons why I like the original Haunted Mansions. I feel like it's a solid gateway horror for like 10, 11-year-old kids that adults can watch and not feel like their brain is turning to fucking like pudding.
Except for when they would reference stores and just take a second pause to reference a store because you knew it was like something they got paid.
I made the joke with my friends. Like, I liked Haunted Mansion. Even I have to admit that the fucking Burger King product placement was the most egregious I've seen since.
That was bad. All the product placements were pretty bad in that movie.
But like, here's the thing, Tiffany. This is the first movie I've seen in a long time where Tiffany Haddish legitimately gets to be funny. She's actually funny in this movie. She and Owen Wilson.
I don't know. I didn't really like her in the movie. I thought she was the weakest part of the crew. I thought Danny DeVito and Lakeith were the best ones.
Well, Owen Wilson, the few genuine belly laughs I got were from certain reactions and line deliveries from fucking Owen Wilson, because I adore that man. I don't care. I love that dude in everything.
It's for Disney adults. You know, there was a Disney adult sitting beside, like in front of me, that was laughing at everything like way too hard. I'm like, well, it's for you, so it's not for me. It's for you, so that's cool.
And some of the lines were kind of funny. I really liked the joke about. Well, like the one that even I had to admit, I'm like, if this was in a non-Disney movie, I think it's legitimately one of the funniest lines of the year is when Tiffany Haddish sees, he goes, how old is he? And he goes, he's 9. He goes, we're talking insides on the outside type of stuff. And he goes, he's 9. He goes, girl, please. I was driving by the time I was 9. I'm like, that was funny. Like, that got me. That was genuinely funny.
It'd be funny if Tiffany Haddish didn't say it.
What's wrong with Tiffany Haddish, though? Tiffany Haddish can be funny.
She's not funny. That's the problem, is she's not funny. Like, she thinks she's funny in all these movies, but she's not. She
was funny in Girls Trip. She was funny in that movie. Come on, the grapefruit, when she was going down on the fucking grapefruit, like it was
Rough Night was funnier than Girls Trip.
Honestly, Rough Night gets a bad rap. I kind of fucking love Rough Night.
Rough Night was funnier because Rough Night was willing to take it places. Because for some reason, Girls Trip was not fucked up humor, but Rough Night was fucked up humor, and I think that was more interesting to watch. Was people dying and terrible shit happening and drugs and all that was more interesting than her peeing on everyone in Girls Trip.
Rough Night, the fucking stuff with David Duchovny and Demi Moore was fucking amazing in that movie. That and I'm sorry, what's his nuts from fucking Broad City doing the fucking diaper astronaut thing, driving while high on fucking coke, trying to rescue Scarlett Johansson. That was so fucking funny. Every time they come back,
it's funny that those movies came out in the same weekend because they were literally the same fucking movie.
But I liked Girls Trip too. I mean, Girls Trip was funny.
Tiffany Haddish has not been. She was in that Night School movie. That movie was stupid as shit. Like, I just feel like she's never been funny.
But see, and also, like, have you watched Tuca and Birdie? Because that show is actually really, really fucking.
Is that a kids show? Oh no, is that a kids show?
It's from the guys who did like BoJack. It's in like the same universe. It was.
I didn't see. No, I don't think I saw it. I didn't finish BoJack either.
It's her and Ali Wong, and it started on Adults. No, it started on Netflix, and then Adult Swim picked it up for a couple more seasons after they dropped it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. Anyway, that being said, thank you for coming back. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Fuck Zoe 102, even though I haven't seen it yet.
You know, Zoe 102 was flawed, but I liked it because I was going on nostalgia vibes. Like, fuck Jamie Lynn Spears, but not Zoe 102 was fine.
I'll watch it on my computer probably tonight. I don't know, maybe.
It's worth. I'll say this. It feels like the show it's based on, and I have to give it. That doesn't feel like a betrayal of fucking Zoe 101, which I appreciated. I do think betrayal. I do think, though, it needed fucking Victoria Justice. I'm sorry, I'm gonna die on that hill for fucking ever. She needed to be in that fucking movie.
It's like Sam not being in the iCarly show. You just kind of need to
kind of except that I kind of like what's her name, the one who's like
the replacement.
Yeah, like her bisexual friend who's also kind of.
She's okay. I didn't finish the last season. I heard that they get married and they are having a child or some shit, and I'm like, I don't really care.
Well, no, they don't have a child. She's gonna get married. No, the funniest episode of the whole show is in season 3. Okay, I guess since you started watching, I'll just fucking tell you. So it turns out that, and then this is the end. So Jerry Trainer is still the fucking best thing in fucking iCarly. I mean, that dude is just funny. He's like Eric from fucking Boy Meets World. That dude is just naturally funny. All right, he has good comic timing. He made Snow Day a 1 star or a 1.5 star instead of a fucking 0 star just by being awesome in it. Like, that movie would be completely unwatchable if it wasn't for. I've since not watched the whole movie again, but I have fast forwarded to his scenes and just watched those again because he's genuinely funny in it. All right, so in this show in iCarly, there's an episode where the friend, whatever her name is, the one who's dating Madison from fucking She-Hulk, that one. All right, so she
Yeah.
She comes back to
Madison with 2 N's.
Madison with 2 N's. And it's not where you think. I'm sorry, She-Hulk is fucking awesome. You guys
She-Hulk is great. Too many men just hated it because it wasn't about them. It's like the Barbie situation again.
It's true. Anyway, so she comes back, the friend, not Sam, the other, whatever her name is. She's really good. So she comes in, and all these children, like, and I'm talking like diverse group of children of diverse ages and like genders and like fucking sexual orientation and race are in this house. Like the youngest is like 4, the oldest is like 14, right? She's like, what is going on? And then Spencer just nonchalantly is like, oh, they're my kids. And he goes, oh, like you mentioned.
Oh, I did see that on TikTok. That he has like 10 kids or something.
Makes that new show worth it. Where he's talking about like, what does he say? He's like, my little sperm angels or something like that. Or he's talking about like these kids I have no relationship with other than I need a kidney from them. And then it's all of them, and the only one he ends up liking is the one of the younger ones who eats spaghetti tacos and is like a mini like Latinx female Spencer, and it's fucking amazing. And he becomes attached to her, and I guess she gets adopted or something, and so he's stuck with all the rest of them, and he hates them more because it's not her. Like, he plays favorites. He's like, but you're my favorite. And he goes, oh, you knew what this was. That was really funny. That was legitimately, that got me. And then Carly shows up. He's like, who are all these children? And he goes, Carly, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Like, because it's legitimately like, he went to the sperm bank so often that he has like 40 fucking kids. It's like fucking Starbuck. That was
It's really like that fucking Vince Vaughn movie.
Well, that's a remake of a better Canadian. Have you not seen Starbuck? The fucking Quebec movie? That's what it's a remake of.
I don't think I've seen it, to be honest.
It's the same movie, but it's better. Starbuck was Delivery Man is the movie you're thinking of with fucking Vince Vaughn. Yeah. It's directed by the same guy, but his debut was a movie called Starbuck, which is it's a shot-for-shot English language remake of It's a French-Canadian movie about a deli owner who goes by the name Starbuck and accidentally, because of a mix-up, fathers like hundreds of fucking kids who all want to know right as he finds out his girlfriend's pregnant with his baby. And he has like a dilemma because some of the kids want to know who he is. So it's the same movie, but it's just in French. And so Spielberg saw it and produced it and did it like an American remake. And the American remake's not bad.
Spielberg needs to stop doing that. Like, I feel like these fucking filmmakers need to stop producing these remakes because they're not ever going to be as good.
You know what the best story I heard about Spielberg almost remaking a movie and deciding not to was? And then we got to go, people. When Paranormal Activity was on the festival circuit, the first one, it kind of came and went. It wasn't, people were watching it, but Spielberg saw it and said his plan was he acquired it. He was going to do a remake with like known actors and like not found footage, but have like it be the same thing. And then have the original as like a bonus feature on the DVD release of the remake. And Oren Peli said to him, like, before we do that, just let's show it at an actual commercial festival as like a surprise midnight movie. Like, show it at some test screenings, like of a surprise midnight showings, and see how people react. And if they react the way I think it is, we release the original cut. And if they don't, we'll remake it. And he said, you're on. And they watched it, and he said within the first 10 minutes, he said it's inevitable Spielberg was going to remake it because like half the theater walked out. And he said, well, great, we lost. But then what sealed it for Spielberg is he went out and asked them, like, why did you walk out? That movie's pretty scary, wasn't it? And she said, that's why we walked out. We couldn't handle it. It was so creepy that we couldn't watch any more of it. And Spielberg called Oren Peli the next morning and said, we're releasing your movie. We're not remaking it. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's high praise. When Spielberg says your movie is good enough that we're not going to mess with it.
Anytime I hear directors say that they get messages from these like filmmakers about how good their movie is, it's like, that's high praise. That means your movie.
It really is. Anyway, But that's a wrap, guys. We gotta say goodnight. It's getting to be like din times for over here. So good night, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks, Becca, for showing up. And
fuck Ron Perlman, except for he's cool if he wants to kill Bob Iger. That's my last thing I'll say.
Honestly, though, Ron Perlman though is not the problem with this movie. I love Ron Perlman. He deserves better than this. Anyway, good night, everybody. Take care. Don't go see The Baker. Just see anything else that's in theaters. Literally, July has been an awesome month for movies. Go see anything else. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night. Bye. Bye, Becca. Bye.
Also, don't go see Sound of Freedom.
You know what? Yeah, don't go see Sound of Freedom just because it'll give money to people who are the movie's about. The people who made it, like the producers of it, they're fine. They don't like him either anymore. But yeah. Anyway, bye everybody. Bye.
Kiss my ass, Angel Studios.